Meow. I first and foremost start off on the 4 hour time frame whenever it comes to marking up charts. I feel like this time frame for me works good because it gives me more of like a swing trader aspect because I can hold my trades for pretty much those 2 to 3 days when it comes to any of my swing trades. So 4 hour kind of gives me that, and then sometimes the daily, but right now I can see that we have a good amount of highs and lows that I can use on the 4 hour. So we're gonna start here. So first, I would start off with where's current price? And whenever I'm looking at current price, I try not to chase this too much, especially when it's first breaking out, because I can see that right now it's like first breaking out. So most people would kind of chase this and try to get into the buy. What I would like to do is I notice this, I understand that price is pushing up, but I know that this could not be the same way in a couple of hours, or it could be even more, whatever the case might be. So from here, I try not to FOMO or anything when it comes to the Sunday open. I let price do whatever it has to do. And mind you, tomorrow's a holiday, so the markets is going to be closed. Um, so I'm not too stressed about anything. So first and foremost, 4 hour time frame, I would go and try to find this. So I would start here, and all I would do is move back and look for the recent high or low. So in this case, we would have equally right here, right? And I personally like to mark the body closes because I feel like that's a closed deal. But there's no problem with using the wicks either. I feel like those, to me, I feel like body candles work for me because whenever I take my trades on the swing highs or swing lows, whenever a body candle, like let's say if something was to come under this body close, I would just take that trade if there's a good candle that pushes under here with volume, and I'll just take that trade. But it makes no difference if you use this too. It's still a set of buyers sitting here, and it's still a set of buyers sitting at the candle close too. So both of them work. I just like using body closes, but either one you can use. So let's say if we use the body close, we can see that price is now pushing above this swing high. Now, with me, I try not to put my whole mindset on just one bias, even though I see price is pushing up higher, this could just be an indication, but an indication doesn't necessarily mean that it has to go up, right? Price can cause an indication just to go back down, which is called liquidity. And that's most likely a liquidity grab. So in this scenario, I try not to fixate just on one bias. So from here, I see where price can become bullish. So then I'm gonna put this alert, right? And I'm gonna do crossing down because whenever it comes down, that's when I want price to alert me. So got that one. Now, when I mark up the original bias, I see, hey, price is bullish on the 4 hour because it's breaking this high. You can annotate this too as well. So you can be like, oops, you can be like, price is bullish because it's breaking 4 hour high, right? So price is bullish because it's breaking this 4 hour high. Now, from here, I understand that. Now, what could happen that could turn this bearish? So I already see how price is bullish, but what can I see that makes price bearish? So from here, I would just go over here to the recent low. So in this case, I see that this could be used as a low, but just to be on the safe side, I try to use this as the low, and it looks like they're equal. So that body close, once again, this looks like they're equal lows. So this shows me that price was actually in a no trade zone, right? Crazy thing about it. I guess I was trading in that no trade zone last week. But price is sitting in that no trade zone. And now it just broke out. So with this, I now know under here, price can go bearish. So I'm gonna set an alert. I'm gonna do crossing down because it's gonna go down to alert me. So I have my alert. Now, I know that if price goes bearish, it's most likely going to swing to this low right here. So this will be my bearish TP. Now, back to our original bias. If price goes bullish, where could it go next? If I'm looking over here, so see that prices already broke the swing high. So we have a swing high here. We have a swing high here, and we have a equal high here. We can see that price is well above that. What's next? I can see visually right here that price had a swing high here. So it was going down for a bit, came down, made a low, lower high was made. This is still a high, right? Lower high. This lower high made a lower low, as you can see, and then we're progressing back up. So that means price is coming back for this lower high. So what we'll do, mark this up. And this is the level that price is most likely heading to since it is buying. I'm going to delete these lines to make it a little bit more cleaner. So since price is bullish above this level, price is most likely going to come to this high. So what I will do is mark this out and I'll do crossing up. So all I'm doing is double tapping or using both fingers on my Mac, coming here, pressing add, going here, crossing up, placing it, right? And normally I don't set this many alerts in the beginning of the week, but just for anybody to have like a good base ground start on how you should set your alerts and how to do your charts, this is pretty much what I would do if I was you. Normally it doesn't take me this long either, but I'm trying to break everything down. So right here, we would add an alert for this sell-off too as well. So we'll do another crossing down here just to have that alert sitting here as well. And we'll do it on this close here. So boom. So now we have our alerts for the bearish side of things. And then we also have the bullish side of things. Now, with the information that I'm giving so far, I don't see too much of something that I can do in this situation. Now, what I will say is in most scenarios where I've been in this situation where price has a short period of time before it gets to the next high, normally price ends up breaking out of this level, and that's what I end up taking the setup off of. So I will take a setup off of price moving just like this. So we'll have another candle. We'll have that next candle. It'll be the indication. Price will start that indication. Once it does that, it'll go up for a bit and start to make its way down. And then that will be the setup that I take. Normally whenever I see setups like this, or just whenever the week starts like this is normally how everything goes for me. So these candles will turn these red for you guys. Right? So normally I'll get that bullish push indication, that correction, and then I'll take that trade when price comes back above that level again and target here with the stop loss at whatever the low was. So it'll probably look something along the lines of and we're going to turn this back gray. Probably look something along the lines of this. So we'll take that and we'll place our stop loss under here with our target here, but we're still going to aim for more later on. So that's normally how it will look. But yeah, whenever price is this close to that lower high, and what I mean by just that close is just visually, like I can see that price is pushing with a lot of pressure, so I can tell that this amount of points isn't going to be a lot for price to move. I see that it's at 4,558. I'll make my text a little bit bigger. I like to be very minimalistic because I don't like when my charts feel big and bulky and everything. So that's why my charts is pretty much always clean. Even with the wicks, I always keep the wicks very low, but since I'm making a video, I just have it pretty high, but normally they're super low because I don't really utilize them like that. So I don't really need to see them. But yeah, so as we have here, anything above this level is normally what I would end up taking. This first move is really just to see if price is going to make that push. And it also gives room for me to let price do its thing, because even with this push in my head, I would think that this push would create this, since I'm so used to it happening, it would create something like this. And all of this is just to really come back and retest here if it wanted to. Price wanted to come here and retest. I'll be okay with that too as well. And it will also give all this time to progress to the upside. It will give all this time to progress, which is really good. All this being progression and then coming back above this level is really good for me. So in this scenario, I would just kind of sit back and wait for more information. There's not much I can do. And once again, tomorrow's a holiday. So since it is a holiday, there's like literally no volume at all. And if it is, it's really not the volume that I want to put myself in. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much what I would do on a Sunday. Am I missing anything? I try to make sure these alerts are pretty set, and if you need to, you can do this as well. So you can do it every time or once, but most of the times if you miss it, it will never come back again. So always keep this on everything. I normally don't have it on expiration, but I think it's normally set out for a month. You can set a message, so we can put bullish or we can put breaking out. We could put breaking. So anytime you get that alert, it'll just tell you breaking out. So you'll know exactly where price is at without, you can even put, you can be like breaking out at 4,573. Boom. So whenever it hits your phone, so see me, I have it notified in my app, but I also have it where it can send to my email. You can click that and get the notification on your actual um, trading view. And then you can also just overall get like alerts through like a webhook. I've never used that one before, but yeah, you can do all that and pretty much have your alert come to anywhere and everywhere. And I'm pretty sure there's other things that you can use when it comes to setting alerts. So overall, you can have it where it's greater than such a number, but that's really just the same thing as crossing up, crossing down. But yeah, that is pretty much what I would do on a Sunday. Right now, I personally think that price could go bullish from here. Looking at the daily time frame too, let me go back and look here. So that initial sell-off happened right around here if I'm using the candle close. Price is at that level where it did sell off. We got a great sell-off that we took advantage of. And honestly, if I'm looking at this, I can see that price potentially has like this bearish trend right here, went back up for liquidity, and then came back down and made a new low. And now it's kind of retracing all that new low. I don't know if price is going to go bearish. Once again, the reason why I don't know is because a lot of things can happen. It could look this way, but next week or the next few days, it looks totally different. And you see prices pushing up to the upside like this with a daily candle that looks like this. And it could be like, dang, well, I thought price was bearish. But even seeing how price reacted when it got here, I want to take account of, or I want to take account of that and just overall see like, okay, price came up to this point, highest point, rejected, whole bunch of sellers came into the market and then caused a new low. This could potentially be buying up just to create a lower high. It could come back to the previous level right here. So this is where buyers were before. So buyers were sitting here pushing price up. Everything under here was bearish. Let me go ahead and turn these off right quick. Let's do, oops, wrong one. Right. So everything under here caused bearishness or sellers were in complete control. We're still under that level, but we just made a new low. So we probably hit a level of buyers that are trying to fight back against these sellers that we have right now. And since these buyers are in the market trying to push price up, I'm going to sit back and wait because with those sellers and buyers fighting, we don't know who's in control of the market unless something is consistent. And if you want to see, because I did all my chart work off the 4 hour, here would be my 1 hour analysis. But once again, I wouldn't go to the 1 hour unless there's a reason for entry. And right now, there's no reason to enter a trade. So I try not to confuse myself by going to the 1 hour because it could look like something else. And I don't want to make up anything in my head of what could possibly happen. So if I was looking at the 1 hour, I can see that price is breaking out. but that 4 hour needs to make that new indication for me anyways before I touch anything. So right here, it just looks like price is bullish, but just because it is bullish on the 1 hour and 4 hour right now doesn't mean that it is the right setup right now due to all the other circumstances. I know a lot of people kind of take whatever I say and all the words that I say super seriously. So somebody might be in a buy right now as we speak, but that might not be like the best probability to put themselves in. So yeah, with that being said, that is pretty much everything I have. And yeah, that's